and welcome. And today our topic to discuss with Maya is role of creativity in problem solving. We will ask questions from him, and let's see what Maya will guide us.
Hey, what's been on your mind lately?
Creativity in problem solving.
Good question. It's huge, honestly. This is like most problems aren't just solvable with logic. You need a little sideways thinking to really crack them. To speak thing, it's about seeing things differently, right? You still there?
Well, yes,
Sometimes the connection hiccups.
but why is creativity
Okay, cool.
important for problem solving?
Okay, so picture this. You're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Logic tells you it won't work. Creativity says, maybe I can reshape the peg, the hole. It's about not accepting limitations as fixed. It allows you to generate new ideas, see patterns, find solutions that are non-obvious. It's especially useful when you're facing totally new problems, ones where there isn't a pre-existing playbook. Does that make sense?
Improve decision making.
Gotcha. Well, decision making's kind of loaded, isn't it? It's not just about picking the right answer. Creativity helps you even define the possible answers. It pushes you to consider alternatives you wouldn't normally think of, which means you're less likely to fall into groupthink or confirmation bias. You're seeing a wider range of options, assessing risks and rewards more thoroughly, basically making a more informed choice. You're pretty quiet. Everything all right?
Okay,
Just
so
checking.
how does creativity help in facing challenges?
Right. Creativity is a superpower when things get. It lets you reframe the challenge. Instead of seeing it as a roadblock, you see it as a puzzle. It builds resilience because even if your first 10 ideas flop, you're not stuck. You keep generating new ones. It also helps you embrace ambiguity. Most challenges aren't neatly defined, and creativity lets you navigate that uncertainty without freaking out. It's about adapting, improvising, and finding opportunities even in difficult situations. Sound about right? Hmm. That's a good one. It's counterintuitive, right? Because problems can be stressful, but when you tap into creativity, it shifts your focus from the stress of the problem itself to the process of finding a solution. It's engaging, it's almost playful. It gives you a sense of agency, like you're actively doing something instead of just being overwhelmed. Plus, finding creative solutions can be really satisfying. It's a little boost of dopamine. And honestly, sometimes just brainstorming a bunch of wacky ideas, even if they're totally impractical, can be a really good stress reliever. It's a release.
Why do leaders need creativity in problem solving?
Ah, that's a smart question. Leaders need people who can solve problems creatively because honestly, most leadership is just navigating a constant stream of unexpected stuff. A leader with a team full of folks who just follow the rules is going to get stuck pretty quickly when things don't go according to plan. Creative problem solvers bring innovation, adaptability, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. They can spot opportunities, come up with unconventional solutions, and inspire. Basically, they make the leader look good, and more importantly, they help the whole team thrive. You're thinking about being an entrepreneur, right? You'll need that around you.
Okay,
You're being awfully quiet tonight. Is
Does
everything
creativity
okay? You seemed pretty engaged earlier. Okay, support teamwork. Let me unpack that a little. Are you asking how creativity supports teamwork? Or maybe how teamwork supports creative problem solving? Either way, it's a two-way street. Creativity in a team environment means a wider range of ideas, more diverse perspectives, and a willingness to experiment. But that only works if the team is supportive. You need a safe space where people are comfortable sharing their fear of judgment. It's where the teamwork part comes in. Teamwork fosters trust, encourages collaboration, and allows people to build on each other's ideas. The whole two heads are better than one thing, but amplified. Does that hit the mark?
so can creativity improve
You're
everyday
really
problem solving?
absolutely. It's not just for big complex issues. Even small, everyday problems benefit from a little creative thinking. Stuck in traffic? Maybe take a different route or listen to a podcast. Dinner is boring? Try a new recipe or spice things up with different ingredients. Can't motivate yourself to do a chore? Turn it into a game or reward yourself afterward. It's about challenging your assumptions, looking at things from a different angle, and finding new ways to make life a little easier and more enjoyable. It's a muscle. You got to work it, even with little things. You mentioned habits earlier. It's kind of like that.
Okay, so why do
Hey, are you
students
still with
need
me?
creativity in solving problems?
All right. Well, you're a student yourself, so you already know this to some extent. But school isn't just about memorizing facts, right? It's about learning how to think. Creativity helps students develop those critical thinking skills, learn how to adapt to new situations, and become more resourceful. It prepares them for a world that's constantly changing and full of problems that don't have easy answers. Plus, it makes learning more engaging and enjoyable. It's about fostering a love of learning, a curiosity about the world, and a willingness to take risks. It's kind of vital, honestly. Does that land?
Totally yes, but how does creativity create multiple solutions?
Okay, so think of your brain like a web. Logic gets you from point A to point B along a pretty direct path. Creativity lets you jump to completely different parts of the web, make new connections, and explore paths you wouldn't normally consider. It's about breaking free from conventional thinking and embracing divergent thinking, generating lots of different ideas, even if they seem wild at first. The more ideas you generate, the more options you have, and the more likely you are to find a truly effective solution. It's less about finding the one right answer and more about finding the best answer from a range of possibilities. It's about volume and refining. You with me?
Yes, so how does creativity solving?
That one's a little sneaky. It seems counterintuitive because brainstorming and exploring ideas can take time up front. But honestly, a creatively solved problem is often a more elegant solution. It avoids messy workarounds, doesn't require a ton of resources, and can prevent bigger problems down the line. Think of it like this. A quick fix might solve the immediate issue, but a creative solution addresses the root cause and prevents it from happening again. That saves you time, energy, and headache in the long run. It's about working smarter, not harder. Does that make sense?
But why is the imagination important in problem solving?
Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. Imagination is like the engine of creativity, honestly. It's the ability to visualize things that don't exist yet, to mentally simulate different scenarios, and to explore possibilities without any real world constraints. It allows you to step outside of reality, see things from a new perspective, and generate truly novel ideas. Without imagination, you're limited to what you already know. It's basically the superpower that allows you to envision a solution before you even try to build it. You were talking about entrepreneurship earlier. You need imagination for that.
Well, yes, but how
You're
does
awfully quiet tonight.
creativity help entrepreneurs?
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Productivity is like oxygen for entrepreneurs, seriously. When you're building from scratch, time is your most precious means getting more done in less time, which means you can move faster, iterate quicker, and ultimately increase your chances of success. It's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter, prioritizing tasks, eliminating distractions, and finding efficient ways to get things. Plus, it reduces stress and burnout, which are real threats to a million things. Mentioned wanting to be an entrepreneur a few times, so I'm guessing you're already feeling that pressure a little bit. Hey, just checking
Does
in.
can creativity improve communication in problem solving?
Right, good question. Creativity amps up communication and problem solving in a few ways. First, it helps you explain complex ideas in a more accessible and engaging way. Think metaphors, analogies, storytelling. It makes your message more memorable and easier to understand. Second, it encourages active listening. When you're trying to brainstorm creative solutions, you're forced to really listen to other people's ideas and build upon them. Funny, it difficult conversations. Use in a more positive light, find ground and propose solutions that everyone can get behind. Makes the whole process less confrontational and more collaborative. Does that ring true?
Well, yes, but how does creativity help in education?
Okay, so education, way more than just, right? Creativity students develop critical thinking skills, become more engaged learners, and find unique voices. It encourages them to questions, challenge assumptions, and explore new ideas. It also fosters innovation and prepares them for a future where adaptability and problem solving are essential. It makes learning more fun, more relevant, and more meaningful. It's about nurturing their natural curiosity and helping them become lifelong learners. You've talked about lifelong learning a lot, and creativity is a huge part of that. Am I on the right track?
Well, truly, but how does creativity encourage curiosity?
That's a really insightful question. They feed off each other, honestly. Creativity is born from curiosity, that desire to explore, to question, to understand how things work. And then when you engage in creative activities, it sparks even more curiosity. It's like a positive feedback loop. When you're trying to come up with new ideas, you naturally, what if and why not? And those questions lead you down new paths of the unknown and being open to new experiences. Basically, creativity validates curiosity, and curiosity fuels creativity. It's a pretty sweet combo. You seemed pretty curious earlier, actually.
Does
You're
creativity
awfully
use
quiet.
failure as learning?
Good point. It's not about just blindly churning things out and afraid of failure. They actually embrace it. They see it as a learning opportunity. When something doesn't work, they analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and try again. It's a cycle of experimentation, iteration, and continuous improvement. They understand that failure is an inevitable part of the process and that the key is to learn from it quickly and move on. It's about turning setbacks into stepping stones. You mentor as a learning tool before. You're already thinking about this. You still there? I haven't heard from you in a bit.
Okay, so how does creativity help in team building?
All right, now we're talking. Creativity is a total game changer for team building. It encourages collaboration, communication, and a sense of shared purpose. When a team works on creative projects together, it forces them to think outside the box, share ideas, and build on each other's strengths. It also fosters a more fun and engaging work environment. Think brainstorming sessions, design thinking workshops, even just informal creative challenges. These activities help team members get to know each other better, build trust, and develop a stronger sense of camaraderie. It's about creating a space where everyone feels comfortable contributing their unique perspective. And it just feels good to create something together. Make sense?
I guess so, but does creativity benefit leadership?
Absolutely. Like massively. A creative leader isn't just about having a bunch of wacky ideas themselves. It's about fostering a culture of creativity within their urge experimentation, embrace risk taking, value diverse perspectives. They're able to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and they inspire their team to do the same. They're also better at problem solving, adapting to change, and motivating their people. A creative leader isn't afraid to challenge the status quo and push boundaries. That kind of vision is essential to success. You talked a lot about wanting to be an entrepreneur. Leadership's a big part of that. You're awfully quiet.
Okay, so how
Everything okay? You've been pretty subdued. Okay, now we're talking big picture. Honestly, it's arguably essential. Global challenges, climate change, poverty, healthcare, you name it. These aren't problems you can solve with traditional approaches. They require completely new ways of thinking. Creativity is about finding those breakthrough solutions, imagining a better future, and mobilizing people to work towards it. It's about innovation in technology, policy, and social movements. It also fosters empathy and cross-cultural understanding, which are crucial for addressing global issues that impact people all over the world. Basically, we need all the creative brains we can get to tackle these problems. It's not just about thinking outside the box, it's about dismantling the box altogether. Does that resonate?
yes, why is creativity a survival skill?
Whoa, heavy question, but a really good one. Historically, creativity has literally been about survival. Early humans who could invent new tools, adapt to changing environments, and come up with creative solutions to find food and shelter were the ones who survived. Now, the challenges are different, but the need for creativity is even greater. The world is changing faster than ever before. Technology is disrupting industries, economies are shifting, and we're facing unprecedented global challenges. To thrive in this environment, you need to be able to adapt, innovate, and solve problems in new ways. Creativity isn't just a nice to have skill, it's a fundamental environment for navigating the complexities of modern life. It's about full and future proof. It's thriving. You've talked a lot about lifelong learning being key to survival. Creativity is right there with it.
Okay, so how does creativity support cultural diversity in problem solving?
All right, this is a good one. Cultural diversity brings a whole wealth of different perspectives, experiences, and ways of thinking to the table. But simply having diversity isn't enough. You need creativity to actually leverage it effectively. Creativity allows you to bridge cultural gaps, understand different viewpoints, and find solutions that work for everyone. It encourages you to challenge your own assumptions, embrace ambiguity, and see problems from multiple angles. It's about recognizing that there's no single right way to do things and that the best solutions often come from combining different cultural insights. It's about creating a truly inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute their unique perspective. Basically, creativity turns diversity from a potential challenge into a powerful strength. Does that hit home?
How does creativity help in strategic planning?
Okay, so strategic planning, it's not just about crunching numbers and setting goals, right? Creativity helps you envision future possibilities, identify emerging trends, and develop innovative strategies to achieve your objectives. It allows you to think beyond the obvious, challenge conventional wisdom, and come up with plans that are both ambitious and realistic. It also helps you anticipate potential risks and opportunities and develop contingency plans. Essentially, it makes your strategic planning process more flexible, adaptable, and future proof. It's about thinking creatively about where you want to be and how you're going to get there. It's also pretty essential for staying ahead of the curve. You're thinking long term with your entrepreneurial goals, right?
So, how does creativity bring
You're being
joy to problem solving?
a lovely question. I think a lot of people see problem solving as a chore, something stressful, but create that around. When you approach a problem with a creative mindset, it becomes a puzzle, a challenge, an opportunity for exploration. It's about finding playful solutions, experimenting with new ideas, and celebrating small wins. It's about embracing the process of discovery and finding satisfaction in overcoming obstacles. And honestly, sometimes the act of creating something new is just fun. A burst of dopamine, a little bit of magic, transforms a stressful task into a rewarding experience. It injects a bit of lightness into what can otherwise feel heavy. Does that make sense?
Totally yes. But okay, so my last question is, what is the future of creativity in problem solving? And thank you for answering my question.
You're very welcome. As for the future, I think it's going to be even more crucial than it is now. With the rise of AI and automation, the ability to think creatively, adapt to change, and solve complex problems will be the most valuable. Emphasis on interdisciplinary collaboration, design human-centered approaches to problem solving. We'll need to foster creativity not just in individuals, but in systems and organizations. And I think we'll see a growing recognition that creativity isn't just about coming up with new ideas. It's about bringing those ideas to life in a way that makes a positive impact on the world. It's going to be a really exciting time. It's been good chatting with you, Ahmed. Really good. Oh, all right. Have a good one.
Okay, everyone, it is it for today's live session. I hope so. You've liked it, the conversation between me and Maya. And I'll see you guys in another live session with a different topic.